May the 19th, 2024. Guys, we have this massive weather outbreak, and it's been a continuing cycle. Guys, for all the way up into the north central part of the U.S., there are tornado warnings out right now. This is on the border of North and South Dakota. Here, got severe thunderstorms, central Iowa. Drop down here to Missouri, severe thunderstorms, but tornado warnings here in Kansas and in Oklahoma. And I mentioned in a video the other night that meteorologists were talking about this tornado alley widening. And someone mentioned, and it was true, that, well, you've got population and building and subdivisions popping up all over the place. But actually, it is physically widening, too. Guys, the video that I've been working on, we just finished a show over with Paul Begley talking about it. I think what we're seeing is in that video, we're seeing the end of a 13,000-year cycle. Things are heating up. Things are about to change. Every 13,000 years, things have happened. 26,000 years ago, the Ice Age started to warm back up. Suddenly, comets struck 13,000 years ago. Forest fires broke out everywhere, and the smoke from that cooled the planet. Went back into the younger, dry cooling period. But now we are as warm, I've got a chart up in that video, as we were 100,000 years ago. And not until then. It was much cooler. There was life here. There was even human life, people that were used to cooler temperatures in the days of the woolly mammoth. That was 13,000 years ago. Civilizations around the planet were destroyed. The ice caps over North America were taken out. The oceans rose because of that melt. 400 feet, they have not receded. That's why they're finding cities underwater in India, many places. And why they have not found places that are on maps and are in legend. 400 foot did not recede. But right now, guys, I want you to focus on these tornado warnings. You more than likely are aware of the situation. But let's just look at, we'll start right here in the Dakotas and see what they're saying. Now, this is the South Dakota-North Dakota border. This is called Standing Rock Reservation. Here is your tornado warning. It's moving east, northeast, but very, and you can see how it's climbing up across the North Dakota line here. Standing Rock Reservation, Cheyenne River Reservation. And guys, let me pull this up and see if it will give us some of the closer locations here. But you know exactly where I'm talking about if you're from that area. This looks like Highway 12. It's going to be crossing that area. Notice the difference right here in the speed. This is called reflectivity on the ground. And that's telling you the instability of this air right there. And it's building. Let's go south. Coming out of Hutchinson, you see Newton, you're under the gun right there. All of this area is in a severe watch. This is El Dorado, Wichita, coming out of McPherson. It's going to be headed towards Emporia, Topeka eventually. But right now, the tornado warning is here. Let's look at their radar. Now, this is the tornado warning, but notice here. This is getting very close to Emporia, this bow right there. So, guys, if you're in this area, be very careful. Let me say this. About a week ago, we had the remnants of some of the storms that always come out of Texas. And something I heard on the WLBT channel that's in Jackson, Mississippi, north of us, I never heard him say this. He said, even if it's just a severe thunderstorm warning that pops up, consider it a tornado warning because you're going to have hurricane force winds. Never heard him say it like that. But things are changing on this planet. Don't expect it to calm down. The Atlantic is warmer than it was last year. Now, talk about Tornado Alley. Here it's coming out of Norman, Oklahoma. This information right here at Watonga, guys, you've got a tornado just south of you. All of this is headed east. More than likely Stillwater. You will be involved. But, guys, there's a lot of people between these two locations. This is a very wide map. But this in the pink, you're in a severe thunderstorm watch. Again, here north of Woodward, headed towards Alva, is a severe thunderstorm warning. So this could pop up any time. It's very humid outside. Backing out, looking at the radar. This is Oklahoma City right here. Now, everything is headed down this interstate. What is this, 40, guys? I'm not sure. I think it is. But anyway, you've got severe thunderstorms. You got a large system here. And there's actually 2 tornado warnings. One out in front of this system and one popping up right here in the tail end of it. There's weather spread out through this entire area. Oklahoma City, if it drifts slightly north, you may escape some of this problem. But this is what we're dealing with again, guys. It's been week after week after week of tornadic activity. And we're going into hurricane season. What are we now? Just 11 days away from the official start in June. And again, the Atlantic is warmer. So everybody in those areas, you take cover immediately. If you're not there, you got friends or family, you call and you check on them right away. You may be their lifeline to 911 or something, or to getting help to them in one form or another. So stop the video and take care of business right now. And anybody near those areas, prepare. The wind in Houston, Texas, if you haven't seen those videos, you need to type in that storm. It looked like a hurricane there, and then the amount of rain flooded everything. Things were blowing everywhere. The big steel towers that hold the power lines up that you see in the main power alleys were blown down and torn to pieces. Things are changing. We are rapidly going into a situation that this earth is going to be different than anything you've seen. And we are ending an age. We are at the end of a 13,000-year cycle where it's going to repeat. But we're at the end of it, and it's not going to be nice. If you look at the charts in this PDF that you're looking at here, I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow. It's part 2 of the video I just did about the 13,000 years of destruction. But I want you to have this PDF free. It's going to be here, free link. Just click on it. You can scroll through it. I've got it set up like a magazine article, basically. And you can, when I get time tomorrow, to go in here and talk over this, much like we did on Paul Begley's show, except we didn't go into detail. We just kind of skirted over it. You can go into detail here, and maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about. Here in this image, you're seeing the solar system. The yellow dot in the middle is the sun. Then the circles are all the planets. It has to do with Pioneer 10 and especially Pioneer 11 and what happened to them and what they discovered and what was suppressed. One was they discovered a planet that they did not mind talking about because it was like Pluto or something else, just another planet out there we finally discovered. What they finally found out was that it wasn't in our solar system and that it was controlled by a sun that went through a supernova. We call it dead star. That all the information was shut down, enough of it was saved to give you this information. But all of this is free, guys, and it scans a tremendous amount of information if you go through it. It's talking about the precession. Rotation is in 26,000 years, and that is because the tilt of the Earth is there. But every 26,000 years it'll make this journey. That's half of 13,000 years. What is pulling the Earth around in that direction? It's not the sun. There's something out there, and they know it. That's why they're using infrared telescopes. And I'll tell you why. If you haven't seen much of this information, here is a chart that I built talking about our solar system. It's talking, the red line, guys, is the Kuiper Belt. Pioneer satellites going out, discovering these things and it being shut down. And if you go into here, it goes all the way into why is CERN creating a magnetic field here, 100,000 times stronger than the Earth. They know something's coming, and they know, just like Mars, when the magnetic field weakened and it was destroyed, they lost the atmosphere. This talks about that. I believe CERN is ancient technology given to the people this day and time, especially after the Voyager and the Pioneer satellite journeys and what they found. They're running the satellites are running infrared because the dark star is probably below 2 degrees Kelvin, which is the temperature of outer space and colder. And when it does that, guys, it goes out of the visible light range into infrared. That's why you got that telescope on Mount Graham. That's why a lot of the new satellites are infrared. They know something's coming. CERN is there. Many people speculated, including myself, of why. We've seen the impacts on our magnetopoles, on our shields. Is it to prevent the damage to our shields? Are they trying to create a artificial shield around our planet? Again, their shield, because of giant motors. Let me scroll this down. Look at this. Look at the guy here. You know that a small electric motor creates a magnetic field. But this motor in line, combined with the 17 miles of, again, below outer space temperatures, keeping these magnets cool enough, creates a magnetic field 100,000 times more powerful than our planet. So this technology, guys, is not brand new. I think it's ancient, handed down now, so that the scientists can create something that will prevent the Earth from being destroyed, not for mine and your benefit, because there's too many stories about the demons and fallen angels being locked into the earth, into the pit, into the rocks. Look at the book of Enoch. All of those things. They know they cannot go back to heaven. And if this earth is destroyed, it's the end of them. They know that it's coming. They're watching it. They've seen it. They shut down the stories. We're at the end of a 13,000-year cycle. It's going to get much hotter. God didn't say he was going to destroy this earth age with a flood. It will be by fire. We're watching it, guys. There's a free link. It goes all the way down. It talks about Shiva here. This is at CERN. This is when it was set here in place. It's permanent between these two buildings. And if you're not familiar with with Shiva, in the Hindu religion, this form of the dancing Lord Shiva is known as the Nataraj and symbolizes Shakti, of life force. As a plaque alongside the statue explains, the belief is that Lord Shiva danced the universe into existence, motivates it, and will eventually extinguish it. Statue was made in India. This is when they signed it in place. Think about it. CERN is trying to prevent that dancing it out of existence, because the demons will have nowhere to go. They can't go back to heaven. Free PDF on this link and in the video before, guys. If I can tomorrow, I'll go through all of the PDF and explain a couple of hours of information again. There's a lot here. A lot. And even here, explaining the objects that are being pulled in past Pluto that started the search, even into simulations showing that there's a planet out at about 30 AU to 25 AU that's being pulled in, and it's not because of our sun. It's full of information. Enjoy. It's got the information about the scientists that were involved in this, information about Voyager. Here's a heliosphere. Here's the plaque that's on the two Pioneer satellites, both 10 and 11. Free PDF below, guys. You guys in the Tornado Alley, be careful tonight. Get your weather radios on. Charge up your flashlights. All of the above little things can save you. It's a heads up. Be safe.